that we're taking since October of last year, 2008. We've institutionalized a use of force oversight supervisory investigative process that was brought to the Rockford Police Department by Charles Gruber, the Department of Justice employee, contract worker, who is also the independent monitor with the Oakland Police Department. Our department has our use of force analysis, our external use of force analysis posted on our website, and it has been now for 2 years. Our department is proud that we've been able to drop our excessive force complaints 66% in the last three years. Our department is considered to be a model agency when it comes to the use of force report analysis, and we were told that by our accreditation on law enforcement agencies, and we just received accreditation this past March. We continually look at the process improvement with the internal and external uses of force analysis. The information in closing that I've given you are primarily facts, and I'm unable to go into any further details. The department, myself, has great compassion as to what took place on Monday evening, and so we encourage the city of Rockford and our citizens to remain calm and to let the police, let the chief of police investigate this process thoroughly. There's multiple layers of investigation that are taking place, and justice will prevail. Thank you.
We hope so.
If I can, just a couple points before I introduce Joe Briscato, our state's attorney, to talk about his role as an independent entity in our justice system locally. I wanted to, Deputy Chief Lindmark reminded me, if there's individuals in the community, as always, if you have information or additional information, if you don't feel like your information has gotten to the police department already, please you can contact Greg Lindmark, head of our investigative bureau, or others in the department to let your information come forward. And I think it's also important to note, I absolutely am committed in my role in the city of Rockford as a sworn constitutional officer, along with our chiefs and our other police officers. We have a responsibility to make sure that we do not rush to judgment, that we gather all the information. And it's obvious just from the news reports that we've seen on this that there are a lot of different people talking about this incident and different information that's out there. But as Deputy Chief Lindmark indicated, that's why we've got a process in place. That's why the state crime lab ends up getting involved when we examine this forensic evidence, and so that all that information will be gathered. I've heard some various comments in the media, on the radio, that I think are quite frankly inappropriate, because they seem to be passing judgment when we don't have all the information yet. And so, ultimately, the information that is gathered, whatever version of the information and people's recollections that information is gathered, that goes to the state's attorney's office. And I just invite Joe Briscato, our state's attorney, to talk about his role in reviewing that evidence when it comes to the criminal aspects of an investigation. Attorney Briscato.
Good afternoon to everybody. In Winnebago County, as in every county in this state, the state's attorney is responsible for reviewing investigations concerning possible criminal conduct. The same will occur in this case once all agencies, Rockford Police Department and any other agency that has been asked or assigned to participate in this process has completed their work, their investigation, compiled appropriate reports and evidence. They will present the same to the Office of the State's Attorney. That will include the work of the Rockford Police Department, as I mentioned, the Office of the Coroner, who's present here today, as well as any other agency that may be called upon to assist during the course of this thorough investigation. Once that is completed, the Office of the State's Attorney will review the matter and make a determination as how to proceed next. We will not address today nor indicate what it is we intend to do with this case, because it would be inappropriate to do so until all the evidence has been presented to the Office of the State's Attorney for review. I will, however, acknowledge, as many have inquired, that historically matters of this nature have been presented to the Winnebago County Grand Jury for a review. At this time, I do not anticipate nor do I expect to deviate from that process. However, no commitment can be made until all the evidence has been collected, all the investigations have been completed, and they have been presented to the Office of the State's Attorney for a thorough review. Beyond that, at this point in time, anything else with regards to the process would be speculating. As others have indicated, I encourage the community and all of those that are involved in this process to be patient. Each one of these incidents, each one of these cases, anything that occurs in this community of this nature or in this manner requires its own independent investigation. Everything that occurs in cases of this nature is unique to this case. You cannot assign a particular time deadline to how long a case will take to complete because every case is different. But what you can do is watch the case and the process march through each step as we have outlined it today. I appreciate your time and attention. If there's any questions at a point, I'd be glad to answer them if I can within the confines of the laws and the rules of professional conduct that can bind myself as an attorney or a prosecutor in this community. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Sue, did you?
I'd be glad to open up to questions at this point. We're going to take questions from the media first.
Chief Epperson, if I could ask you, what assurances do you have for us now that proper procedures were followed by the two officers to ensure the safety of the innocent bystanders in the basement of the daycare center?
Again, this is an open investigation. There's ongoing criminal investigation that's taking place, and so I cannot comment on those specific questions that you're asking.
You mentioned that the percentage of excessive force cases is down dramatically within the Rockford Police Department in recent years. That's true?
Yes, excessive force complaints that have come in from our citizens in Rockford have dropped 66% in the last 3 years. And when I looked at the numbers, July of this year, they were down even compared to the same time last year. So we're looking at a great spiral effect of those complaints.
What statement would you have regarding this being the third time in the last, since 2007, that Officer Poole has used his firearm?
Well, this is an open investigation, and the prior two investigations were vetted out internally. They were vetted out with the grand jury investigation, and they were both resolved. This current one, again, it's an open investigation, so I'm going to refrain from making any determination.
You know, if I could comment on that, that's exactly why at the start of this press conference I asked that our community not rush to judgment, either on the officers involved or the person who was shot and killed. I've seen discussion about Mr. Barmore's past, and quite frankly, as I indicated, it would be, I think, irresponsible for us to pass judgment prior to all the information coming in, or to use the prior records of any of the people involved. We have to look at the facts as they develop. And there's a lot of fair questions that are being asked. The questions about the circumstances, the questions about children being there, and I would just commit that there's appropriate questions that need to be answered both on the criminal side of things, and then at an appropriate time, there's also questions about internal tactics that are used. Those are all fair questions.